From the Fox 10 Gulf Stream, this is Next Weather.
Well, it's been a crazy week in the tropics, seeing a Cape Verde type system, a wave coming off of Africa developing in the mid-Atlantic, and now it's a tropical depression. And we want to take a deep dive on what's happening with this tropical depression and what will happen in the forecast. Here's meteorologist Nicholas Herboso. Nicholas?
Thank you, Jason. We are tracking Tropical Depression 2, which developed today. It was the 4 p.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. So this is that advisory. You can see we have winds of 35 miles per hour, pressure of 1,007 millibars. And you can clearly see where this thing is there. We do have some stronger thunderstorms developing near the center of this thing at this time. There's some talk of the central organization of it. Remember, this is very, very far out in the Atlantic. So right now we don't have Hurricane Hunter planes in this. We were relying on the satellite to tell us the story, and we were able to tell that this thing was a tropical depression, likely going to be strengthening into a tropical storm very soon. The next name on the list is Beryl. Here's a look at that infrared satellite view of this thing. The little black areas you see, even to white and pink, those are some of the tallest storms that are developing in this system. And we're seeing these stick around even as we lose daytime heating. The sun set on this thing a few hours ago, and it's going to be moving off to the northwest here very slowly, west-northwest, or very quickly, I should say, even 17 miles per hour at the west-northwest here. It is going to be reaching the Windward Islands by the end of this weekend, and we'll see how it holds together here. In fact, the forecast has it strengthening. Here's another view of those bubbling thunderstorms. This is with our three-dimensional satellite. You can see the tallest thunderstorms there developing near the center of circulation. So here is that forecast track, as I mentioned. It looks like if we have the bubbling thunderstorms holding together, we could get a tropical storm very soon. Then this will strengthen by Sunday morning to a strong tropical storm, hurricane by Sunday afternoon. Monday, we could begin to see some impacts for the Windward Islands there, possibly reaching Category 2 status for this tropical system. This will be Beryl at that time, and then it'll move into the Eastern Caribbean. The forecast track is pretty narrow to this point, and there's some decent confidence to it. Once it gets south of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola there, that's on Tuesday, you can see Category 2 hurricane. Long range, we take it out to Jamaica, at least by the center of the cone here. By Wednesday, you can see the cone does get wider. That is when the forecast begins to get just a little bit more uncertain. What kind of environment is this thing moving into? Well, the waters are warm. We know that. We've been talking about it. In fact, they're above average, pretty much middle 80s all the way across the Caribbean. How about how deep the ocean water is? The warm ocean water, I should say. And you can see areas in yellow there. That's where that warm water is extremely deep. And that means that this system will be able to take advantage of the warm water that is out there. So taking this all into account, let's talk some impacts here. This is the wind field forecast. Anywhere yellow, you can see tropical storm force wind, strong tropical storm, 58 miles per hour or greater there in the orange, just the National Hurricane Center forecast. Islands like St. Vincent, the Grenadines, Grenada, Barbados, all dealing with tropical storm force winds there, possibly hurricane force winds as this system moves through. This is early Monday morning. Then Monday, this thing moves into the Eastern Caribbean, south of Hispaniola there. This is by Tuesday afternoon, then eventually making its way towards Jamaica. This part of the forecast track is actually relatively consistent. Here's another look at the wind forecast. This is what they model. This is the GFS forecast model. You can see how consistent it is with the National Hurricane Center forecast. Similar story, Category 1 possibly force winds near St. Vincent as the thing moves through on Monday. Then Tuesday, south of Hispaniola there, 6 p.m. still as a strong tropical storm or Category 1 hurricane. As I mentioned, the forecast models are tight. Take a look at that over the Windward Islands. They pretty much a straight line there, and they stay relatively tight. It goes south there of Hispaniola, gets to Jamaica. Beyond this point, though, we do see some questions, and that's going to be the story in the long-range forecast. It does look like we have a ridge of high pressure that's going to be to the north of this system, so it might keep marching west, but that is a long way away, and we will always keep track of the system once again. So once again, Tropical Depression 2 has developed in the Atlantic, and we'll be keeping track of it here at Fox 10. Jason?
Here's your 7-day forecast, and locally not seeing anything threatening us tropically, but we do have a lot of rain and some Gulf moisture involved. Rain chances around 60% each day through the weekend and into the first part of next week. Daytime highs in the low to mid 90s, overnight lows in the mid 70s. Have a great weekend, and thanks for watching Next Weather.